welcome to the 28th episode of the Honeybee Nuts podcast. My name is Melissa. I'm coming to you from about 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, where I live with my husband, our dog, and 2 cats. Today is a beautiful day outside. It's sunshiny, and we've had, I think, 3 days now in a row where we've had either barely any rain or no rain at all, no snow. The weather's been nice. My windows are open. It's been fantastic, and I'm loving this weather so much. It has done so much for my mood. So I am going to jump right into things. This is going to be a huge episode. Like, I don't know how I'm going to fit everything into one episode because I feel like it's going to be 5 hours long. Just to give you some, background? No. Just to give you like a quick summary of what I have to show you today. I have 2 FOs, 2 knitting FOs. I have 2 knitting whips, and I have 3 spinning whips. So I have lots to show you today. I have a ton of acquisitions. I'll talk about that a little bit, but I did go to Greencastle Fiber Fest, the fiber event, in Greencastle, Indiana, and I met up with Laura and Alicia from Knit for Brains and Molly Klein from Molly Klein Design, and we had a fabulous time. It was an amazing trip, and I, of course, will be talking about that. So I got goodies from there. I did a little online shopping. I was doing really well. I barely bought anything in March, and then April was, up until Greencastle, was pretty good until, and then after that it was like all over. So in addition to that, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been going through some things which will explain my absence, which I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on that, but I do want to touch on it and talk about it. And also I have the April Yarn of the Month Club to show, and I have some shop stuff, some shop news. So we have a huge episode, and feel free to fast forward, skip anything that you don't want to watch. But for those of you that stick through the whole thing, you're going to be a trooper, and I'm really excited. So yeah, so let's jump into the knitting. So the first FO I have is actually a test knit, and you guys didn't see this as a whip. I think I talked about it on my last podcast. It's not blocked, and I plan to block this weekend because we're supposed to have some nice weather. I don't really enjoy blocking inside my house because it's too difficult with my cats, which, speaking of which, there's one roaming around my feet right now. They like to get on the boards, mess up the pins, sit on the knitting, and there's not really any closed off rooms that are big enough for me to block. So, and I say that because there's not like a big wide open space where I can like lay it on the bed or floor or something. So I like to block outside, and the weather has just been too crappy until recently. So this will get blocked, but here it is. So this is my For the Love of a Daughter shawl by Crafty Mama Designs. Hi, Dawn. So she is releasing this pattern. I need to type up my notes and get them to her. But I did a test knit, and it was my first test knit. And then when I met up with Laura and Alicia, I was telling Laura, because she was also test knitting, that I am not a good test knitter, because she was telling me of one teeny tiny mistake that like doesn't affect the pattern at all, that she had found, and I was like, I didn't even catch that. So anyway, so this is my shawl, and it's gonna be gorgeous when I block it out. I'm gonna try to hold it up and stretch it out for you. So it's a perfect pattern for a beginner. Or if you just want kind of like a mindless knit, or a quick gift knit. I probably didn't spend more than 6 or 7 hours working on this total. So speaking of which, I think I'm going to download, if you've never heard of Knit Companion, you can upload your projects into it, and it just keeps everything organized. But it also, if you open it while you're knitting, it'll tell you how much time you spent on a project, and that sounds really interesting to me. And there's probably going to be a lot of those like fishy brain moments where I'm like veer off on a tangent today, just because I have so much to talk to you guys about, because I haven't seen you in so long. Not that I'm seeing you now, but I know that you're watching, and then you guys comment back and you talk to me all the time on social media, so I know that you guys are watching this and hearing what I'm saying. So anyway, here it is. And I used my After the Storm colorway on Sparkle, of course. And it took up the entire ball. Like, I don't even have 3 grams left to put in my Cozy Memories blanket. So basically it is knit on the bias, and you have basic garter repeat with increases in these eyelet sections. So you start with 1 eyelet row, then you go to 2, you go back to 1, you go to 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, 1 and 6. And so I like that because we all like one skein projects for those weird one skein yarns that we have. And for me, a lot of times when I find those projects, they're too small. They don't fit me very well across my shoulders or my wide neck. And so I think when you add an eyelet, it just creates so much more room in the pattern to stretch when you block it. And I just love how this yarn worked. I love how this colorway worked up. I don't know if I have any of these in the shop right now, but I do have one on my desk that's in a worker bee base. If anybody's interested, message me, and it's up for grabs. I don't know why I didn't list it. I don't know if I was saving it for a giveaway or a friend, or if somebody I'm not sure, but nobody's contacted me, and it's just been sitting on my desk. So I don't know what my plans. Oh, you know what? I think I was gonna make Jason a pair of socks with it because he really likes this colorway. But if you guys want it, you can have it, because I don't know the next time I'm gonna have time to make Jason a pair of socks. So, which he needs them, so I need to make time. Different story. Anyway, so I really love how it kind of flashed in some areas and pulled. And this was just my April kind of rainbowy colorway. So I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. I can't wait to get it blocked so that I can get it stretched out. And when I block it, I probably won't show it again on the podcast. Well, I might. I don't know. Maybe when she releases her pattern, I'll wear it or something. But I will take pictures of it and put it on Instagram after I block it. So keep an eye out for that. So that pattern, I'm not sure when exactly it's going to be available, but I do know that she requested that we have it done by the end of April, so should be soon. The next FO that I have, I'm super proud of because it's something that I have had. It's part of my Whip It Thursday cal, and it's what I drew out of the whip jar last time I saw you guys, which it's been a few weeks, quite a few weeks. So, so I actually was able to finish it, although I didn't really work on it too much until about a week ago, but here it is. And again, it needs to be blocked, so it's kind of scrunched up, but this is my Neapolitan shawl, and I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. I've loved this shawl since the pattern first came out. I cast it on, I think, the day it came out, or at least bought the pattern the day it came out, and then it just sat there in my whips for a long time. It was super, super easy to knit. It's just the striping, 3 different colors with, and you're rotating between garter and stockinette, and then you have this nice ribbed border. So this is going to block out beautifully, and I think that this is going to make a fantastic Mother's Day gift. My mom doesn't watch this podcast, and if she is, hi Mom, this is what you're getting for Mother's Day. I actually cast it on for you for Mother's Day 2 years ago and didn't finish it, so here it is. These are her colors. She is all about the peaches and light pinks and creams and browns, so I think she'll love this shawl, and she does like a good shawlette, so this is good because what I was going to knit her for Mother's Day this year, I didn't get around to casting on as much as I wanted to. I just didn't have time, and I'm not gonna kill myself to get it done because it is a rather large project. So this is what she'll be receiving this year. So that means that's all my FOs for knitting, but I'm gonna take a break here. Not take a break from you guys. I'm gonna take a break from showing. Oh, you know what? I should have said what yarn I'm using, and I don't have a tag with me, but this is the Blacker Yarns, and it says worsted on the ball, but I think, or does it say worsted? Yeah, it says worsted on the ball, but it's more of a sport weight yarn. So there's not as much, it's not as heavy as a worsted, but it's not as light as a fingering. So I'm not sure why they call it worsted on the band. It is a UK brand, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe they call their yarns something different. But anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with it. And that pattern is the Neapolitan Shawl by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears podcast. I don't think I said that either. So I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to pull a new whip from my whip jar, which I'm really nervous because every time we get a project that I like, there's more and more chance that, okay, let me clarify. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. All of these whips that I have, I want the finished object. I just ignored a FaceTime call from Levi. So, hi Levi, I'm podcasting. So, where was I? Oh, all of these whips that I have behind me, that I have in my whip jar, I want the finished object of, so I want to knit them. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to enjoy the process of knitting them, which means I dread what I pull out of here. Because every time I get a project that I like, which I've had three that I really like so far, then there's more and more chance of me getting one of the ones that is going to be a pain in the butt to knit. So just an example, I have a poncho back there that's going to need to be knit. I've got the Speckle Pop knit along, which, I mean, it's not a pain to knit, but it has brioche, and I hate brioche. I have a pair of cabled socks again, which the last one I didn't want to knit, and they turned out fine because they was super quick, and I loved it. So maybe that won't be too bad. I have a beaded lace shawl that's knit with like over 1,000 meters of yarn. So yeah, so let's shake it up really good because Melissa wants something easy and quick that she can finish. I really like finishing the quick ones, but I do like the process of not knowing what I'm going to pick out next. So okay, I picked the Outlander shawl. So let me pause and see if I can dig through these bags, and I will show it to you. And it was actually in the first bag that I picked out, and I am using Lorna's Laces. Give it a second to focus there. Lorna's Laces, and let me see if I can find the tag for the colorways. Hang on. It was actually in, I like that it was in the first bag that I picked out. Maybe, oh, it's in my hand here. Kerfuffle is the gray colorway, and Farewell is the pink colorway. And this is a Shepherd Sport base, 100% superwash merino, 200 yards per 2 ounces. And I have 4 balls here, so this should knit up pretty quickly. So I started this shawl in my 12 days of casting on, and I'll see if I can put the pattern picture here so that you know what the whole thing is going to look like. But I started this in my 12 days of casting on 2 years ago, and I only worked on it for a few hours one day. I think I set aside 2 or 3 hours to work on it each day, maybe an hour, and this is what I have so far. And I really did enjoy knitting this. And it's going to knit up quickly because it's a sport weight yarn. So I am excited about this one. This is one that I think I was dreading because it is a larger shawl, but I think I forgot that it was sport weight, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. So I'm excited. I'll start that probably next Thursday. Today's Friday, so in about a week I will put it downstairs with my other whips that I am currently working. And this is in, I don't know, I think this is Hue Loco bag. So this is a bag that I got from Nicole of Hue Loco before she was like big time. She was still on Etsy when I purchased this bag from her. And you guys know my obsession with penguins, owls, and elephants. So of course I have an elephant bag. And what's nice is that when I finish this whip, I will get to take this bag back, and it can be full of other whips and used more often instead of just hanging on a shelf. So I'm gonna start knitting that. So let's move into whips. So the first whip that I'm going to show you, and I made a bad mistake of putting this on my art bat that I'm going to show that I'm spinning right now, because all the fiber is coming off and sticking to the black. But this is in my scrappy project bag by Studio in the Green. And I love all her bags. The one thing I would say about this bag, because I've never gotten her where she had like the French style handle on it, is that it only has the one ribbon to pull it closed. And it doesn't close very well, and it doesn't stay closed. Normally, she has 2 ribbons, one on each side, and you pull them. I don't know if I have another one. Her bags. Sitting on top here. Because I use her bags a lot. I don't see one. I know I have like 500 of them. I don't see one right now, even though I know I have a ton of them. I moved my bags. They used to be in this shelf right here. I moved them into a basket over here, which they're still overfilling. But I put a few of my sweater quantities of yarn and stuff in there. So anyway, so I'm not really impressed with the drawstring on this one, but I think maybe she just forgot to put the second one in, because she normally does have it in there. So I might just find some ribbon and take this one off and put some in there. But anyway, these are my April Desert Vista Dye Works socks, and it is in her sparkle base, and it is called Purple Rain, and it's a Prince reference. Obviously, most of you would know that. But this is what I have so far. I started this 2 nights ago, and I got the cuff done, and I did 30 rows on the leg. Last night I did 30 rows on the leg, and I got all the way to the toe. This is the first sock. I have been knitting my socks 2 at a time, but I didn't have my scale to split the ball in half, so I didn't, and I just knit 1 at a time. I haven't put the heel in yet. I'm a big advocate of the afterthought heel now. I've done it on several pair of socks, and it's probably my favorite heel. It's super fast, easy, and it fits perfectly. And so I have to do the toe on this tonight and cast on the second sock. I'll do both heels at the same time. So I'll knit the second tube. I need to have these done by Monday, because I just casted them on 2 days ago. They're supposed to be April Desert Vista Dye Works socks. So I need to stop doing that, where like I cast them on last minute and then I have to like rush and get them done before the deadline. So these have to be done, done and photographed by Monday, which I don't think will be a problem. I knit this in 2 days, and that was with probably 3 or 4 hours of knitting time, maybe 5, 6. But yeah, so I don't think it'll be a problem, because I'm going to my knit group tomorrow, which is, I normally go for about 4 hours. So I should be pretty well done with these by tomorrow, because I am going to finish this one tonight, and I'm going to at least get the cuff and 30 rows done tonight as well on the second one. What am I saying? Anyway, I picked this month because Prince died 2 years ago, I believe, on April 20th, and I just was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, now is the perfect time to use this yarn, and it's gorgeous, and I love how it's working up, and yeah, so there's that. I'm just thinking of like all the acquisitions I have to show you guys in a little bit. So many. I haven't been showing acquisitions, but I really like sharing. I stopped showing because I was kind of embarrassed by the amount of money that I spend on this hobby, but you know, there's so many amazing makers out there, and I want to share them with you guys because I think everybody should know about them. So yeah. This is my French bag. I forget her username on Instagram, but I had put a call out for one of these a few weeks ago, I don't know. And she contacted me and asked me if I was still looking for one. And I was like, yeah, because I think she had 2 of them. She was looking to sell one. So lucky for me, I got the, I got it, so, and I love it so much. So I have 3 of the special edition bags now, and this isn't a brag. I'm not trying to be braggy about what I have. I just want to put that out there. I just, I'm a collector of things. I'm a collector of yarn. I'm a collector of coffee mugs. Like, I collect things, and I like to share that with you guys, and fringe bags are by far one of my favorite bags. And I have pretty much all of them except for the pink one from Plucky Knitter. And I don't know if they're ever bringing that back. So if you have one, I don't care if it's brand new or gently used or whatever, and you want to sell it, contact me, because I'm looking to complete my collection. So I have pretty much all of the field bags, and then except for that one, and I don't know if there's any other one. Oh, I don't have any of the wax canvas ones yet. I didn't really want to dive into that rabbit hole just yet. And then I have 2 porter bins. I have the black and the white one. So yeah, that's what I've got. And I just got, I'll show you an acquisition. So anyway, so I got this, and I really like it, and it's beautiful print, and it matches my cream one with black clouds. So all right, so I started going to my knit group. So we meet, I have a, well, this isn't really my knit group, it's just a group of girls that get together and knit, and they decided to do a knit along. Oh, wait, I have another finished object. Well, I'll show it in a second. They decided, oh, I guess it's not completely finished, so we're cool. But so they decided to do a knit along, and they're making the hitchhiker. The hitchhiker is very big in my knitting group. A lot of people like knitting it, not only because of the reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but also because it's a easy, fun, quick knit, and a lot of times this is what we teach new knitters to start out on. So, because it gives you a lot of skills, but it also is very beautiful. So I'm using my yarn. This is my March Yarn of the Month colorway, Copper Beaches. And I loved this one. This was one of my favorites that I've ever dyed. It's very like jewel tone. I'll give it a second to focus. And I think there's some of this in the shop right now, because I'm going to be releasing my Yarn of the Month Club colorways once every 3 months as a limited edition. So basically I'm just taking the stuff that I have left over, or dyeing up a few extras and putting about 3 of each base in the shop, and then once they're gone, they're gone. I'm probably not going to be dyeing them again. There might be some exceptions to the rule, like this one, because I feel like this would be a beautiful sweater, and I would definitely dye it up for myself. So if anybody else was interested in it, I probably would too. So here it is. Here's what I've got started so far. So we wanted to do a hitchhiker along. Most of us are using sparkly yarn, and most of us are also doing the eyelets. The eyelets are an addition, so it's an 8-row repeat. So we just added the eyelet yarn over knit 2 together across row 8, and as I said, that just kind of gives it more stretch. It allows you to have a little bit of a bigger shawl. So here it is. My lighting's not great today. It's very sunny outside, but the sun is not reaching in over here, and I don't want to use my ring light because it's been very washed out, and until I get a diffuser around it, I don't want to misrepresent any of the colors I show. So this is it. There we go. It's kind of catching the light there. It's really pretty in person. I'll have to try to get some good pictures of it when it's finished. I know that I'm not going to have enough yarn to do the whole thing, and I haven't decided if I'm going to steal some from the shop, dye some more up, or just stop it early. But again, this is another great, fast, quick knit. If you're looking for a fast gift and you haven't made one of these, I highly recommend you try it. But so that's what I'm working on pretty much every Tuesday, and if I start going regularly to our Saturday knit group, I might start knitting on it there, but this week I've got to do the socks, so we'll see how long it takes me to get it done. But I'm pretty much not working on it at home. I'm pretty much just working on it when I'm with them. So that is, oh wait, I have, oh, there it is. I have another well, it's almost finished. I need to put a pom-pom on it. Let's see if I can pick one. That, my friends, was the sound of all my beads from my diamond paintings spilling all over the place. So, I'll have to clean that up later. I need to find the perfect pom-pom for this hat. And I think it might be this one. Because I want like a brown one. Maybe. I'm going to say this one for now. But we can pretend it's done. If you guys only knew like how disastrous my loft is, like I feel like a hoarder. I really need to go through and organize everything. I've picked out my new shelves. I just have to go get them and get rid of stuff. And yeah, anyway, I finished another hat. If you guys watched my last episode, you know I'm obsessed with this cabled pattern. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one that Kitchen Clutter uses for all the hats she sells in her shop. But here it is. This is again out of my Copper Beaches colorway. I told you I really love this colorway, guys. And I guess this shows the colors a lot better than the last one. Just because, I don't know why, I think the sun's coming out a little more. But yeah, I really, really love this colorway so much, guys. It turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. So it's a little bigger than the other hats that I've knit because the thing is, I had a minor freak out. And I've mentioned this before. I'm completely open, honest, and transparent about my life and everything I do, from knitting to dyeing to sewing to spinning, whatever you guys want to know. So here's some dye information, and I have to look up more information because I'm not exactly sure what causes this. But so I was knitting this hat, and this came from the batch that the other one came from the batch that I knit up to, or that I dyed up to put in the shop. This came from the Yarn of the Month Club batch that went out in March. And I was knitting this hat, and I realized my fingers were turning blue and green. I had a huge major freak out because I swore that when I rinsed the yarn after I dyed, there was little to no dye at all in the water. And so when it was turning my fingers blue, I was like, oh my gosh, did I over dye something? Did I miss a step? And then I sent this yarn out to a bunch of customers, and now it's going to bleed all over everything. Do I have to send them a message saying, I'm sorry, don't use this with any light colored yarns? I was really nervous about it. So I decided, after I was done knitting it, to soak this hat to see how much dye came out of the hat, to see how bad the situation was. So I did. There was no dye in the water. It was clear as could be. It was the clearest water I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand what happened. So I was talking to Levi about this, and he said that he was watching, was it Violinvine's podcast, I think? I could be wrong about that. But he was watching another Indie Dyers podcast who was talking about the chemicals in your hand or the lotions that you wear can affect the way the color comes off of the yarn onto your hands. So made me feel better because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to add citric acid, or I forgot to rinse or something. Like, I was freaking out. So now I feel a little better, and I wanted to kind of verify that. So I wanted to see, I made sure, absolutely sure, that I did every single step correctly for the second batch that I put in my shop, and that's why I picked that yarn. Not the only reason. It's a gorgeous color and I love it. But that's one of the reasons I picked that yarn to make my hitchhiker, because I wanted to see if it bled on my hands again, and it did. So, and I know for a fact, like, I took pictures of the clear water when I rinsed it. So I know for a fact that there was no dye leakage when I was rinsing. And it just is something to do with one of the dye colors and the reaction that it's having to my skin. I've never had that happen before. I will say that I've had, oh, well, I take that back. I've had that happen before with Desert Vista Dye Works, and again, my immediate thought when it happened was that, oh, she didn't rinse this very well, or she used too much dye. But apparently, it's my fingers, and if I recall, it was a blue color, so there must be something, either chemical or natural, because sometimes in dyes they put natural elements in too. Like, for example, one of my blue dyes smells like blueberries, so I'm assuming there's some sort of blueberries in it. I could be completely making that up. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there's something in the chemicals of that dye that is reacting to my hands and causing them to turn green and blue when I knit with them. And the other thing about this hat is that when I soaked it, it stretched like crazy. So this is so much bigger than my other ones, which to me, and ignore the ends, this is, I really might keep this one for myself, because I'm not a hat person, but like, well, that doesn't look good, but I really like this hat, guys. I really like it. I really like it a lot. And I'm thinking this pom-pom is going to go on top. What do you guys think? Can you see that? What do you think? Does that look okay? I like that pom-pom with this. I think it's got the same tones of brown in it. So I think that's what it's going to be. So anyway, if you knit this pattern and it's a little too small for somebody, all they have to do is soak it and lay it flat to dry, and it'll stretch out for them. So that's the hat that I would recommend as a gift knit if you're not sure how big somebody's head is. I've got a huge mess I get to clean up after I'm done podcasting. Well, bigger than normal. So for those of you that are not interested in spinning, you might want to fast forward like 5 or 10 minutes, because I'm going to talk about spinning for a little bit. So the first, well, let me explain what happened and why this is all of a sudden like the big craze. So for me, I went to Greencastle, and every time I go to a fiber fest and they have the big art bats that I go crazy for, I always come home in a spinning mood. So that's what happened. I bought a few bats. I wanted to get to spin them, but I needed to finish what I was already working on. So the first thing I'm working on, the last time you saw this, I had spun it into a single. I actually took the time to ply it. So this is some of my hand-dyed roving from about 2, 3, 4 years ago. I don't remember when I dyed it. So I plied it, and it looks lovely. I'm so happy with how this came out. This is one of my favorite ones that I dyed. I think I called it Unicorn Rainbow or something like that. Oh, I love how it came out. So it's mystery fiber. I don't know what it is. I bought some fiber to practice on. I have no idea what kind of fiber it is. This pink and yellow, like, that gives me life. And then the pink and purple. I love it so much. So I'm going to probably put this on my Nitty Knotty, skein it up, and soak it before the next podcast, so that you guys can see what it looks like in a skein. What's wrong? Okay. Alright, so this has my hair in it. Where did the tag go? What? No. So I was super proud of myself because I kept the tag for this next braid that I spun up, and I kept it all the way until like 10 minutes ago, and now it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. It fell off somewhere. It's probably in this. There it is. The bottom of the basket. Okay. So this is the Leading Men Fiber Arts braid that I was spinning on, and it's their super soft 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, 6 ounces, and it's the upside down colorway, which is a Stranger Things reference. And I had showed this before when I had spun up a little bit of it, but I actually finished spinning it into a single ply, so now I just need to ply it together. So I'll probably do that next week. I'm trying to keep 3 things going at one time with spinning to try to keep me motivated to keep going. So I'm going to have one that's been plied and it's resting, one that's a single and it's resting, and then one active that I am working on. So this is that entire braid. So I am excited to ply this hopefully in the next week or so. I feel like things are going to slow down a little bit because my shop has been kind of crazy, which I'll talk about in the end, but they're going to start to slow down, so I might have more time for spinning. Look at that body. You seem like you're in a really bad mood. Why? Okay, so the next thing that I started spinning is actually an acquisition from Greencastle. There was... Jason, I knocked all over all my beads, so now after I'm done podcasting, I have to clean them all up. But they keep falling, like I keep hearing them fall. So anyway, this was an acquisition from Greencastle, Indiana, when I went and met up with Laura, Alicia, and Molly. I said that too fast. But anyway, I hadn't seen this booth there at any of the fiber festivals before, and she had some really gorgeous bats, and I ended up purchasing 2 of them, which one of them I'll show in acquisitions, but this one, they're from Hello Pearl. This one's called Mod Love, and it's a fiber art bat, which means it's got like the neps and the different types of fibers and everything, and it is so pretty. It's so pretty. You guys know my color palette, and so you know that I was automatically drawn to this one. Yeah. So I almost didn't get it because I was trying to get stuff that I was outside of my comfort zone, stuff that I wouldn't normally pick up. But I had to get this one. Bye. Do you think it's pretty?
Yeah, I'm drinking a deep boy downstairs. I'm hoping it's down. I get back.
I can feel it.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
I have to go put my bill on. I look alright. My hair is kind of fucking wild.
Yeah, you need to go get it trimmed this weekend. So, this is one of her art bats. And let me just tell you all the fiber this cat has in it. It's a 4-ounce bat. It has Blueface Luster. I call it Luster. BFL Romney Corydell. Cormo. Border Luster. Bamboo. Icicle. Silk Thumbs. Silk Noil. Pulled Sari Silk. Wool Neps. And Angelina. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different types of fiber in here. It's amazing. It is so pretty. That's natural sunlight, by the way, just to let you know. I love it so much. So, I started spinning it up, and I'll show it to you, but what I found was that I do not like spinning art bats, which is a shame because I have a ton of art bats to spin. The thing is that art bats have these little things in them called neps, and they remind me of lint balls. In fact, I think they are lint balls, like little lint balls that you get, like when your sweater pills or whatever. Ignore my nails, they're disgusting from dyeing and knitting and everything. I pull them off. I don't like them. I don't like them in it. So here's what I've spun so far, and it's very beautiful, and it's wild and crazy just like me, and I love it. So that's A as to why I don't like spinning the art bats. B is that they like to do their own thing. They like to be chunky, thin, chunky, thin, chunky, thin. And I like everything to be one consistency and very uniform, and I'm learning to just let it be what it wants to be, and I'm trying, but the sock knitter in me wants fingering weight yarn. So I know that I won't use this for a fingering weight project, so I don't know why I'm trying to spin fingering weight yarn, but fingering weight is my favorite, to spin. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know what it's going to be when it grows up, and I'm not really enjoying the process of spinning it, but it's gorgeous, so I'm going to do it. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know if I get any more of this done before the next podcast. It is spinning up pretty quickly. I mean, I just did a strip in an hour, so, well, actually, it was like a large strip. It wasn't just like a strip. That would take like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I think we're like 45 minutes in-ish, 40 minutes after editing, and I'm just now getting the acquisitions. So I'm going to start with the acquisitions here in my basket because they're right here. And the first thing I wanted to show, and I think I may have showed these on my last podcast, but I'm going to show them again because I found them and I wasn't sure if I showed them, and they're so adorable. And I'm getting ready to put them on one of my French bags, so I wanted to show you guys. Yes. Okay. So I received some enamel pens. They are gorgeous. I love them so much. From a friend in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I met her last year when we did the, now that I'm saying this, I feel like I did talk about this in the last podcast, but I met her last year at Simply Sock Yarn, and she sent me these enamel pens. And they are so cute. And I've had them setting off to the side with because Mercy of Brianette's podcast, she also sent me some enamel pens, and I want to go through my French bags and I want to like divvy them out and put them on. So I have them in a pile together. I just haven't done it yet. So yeah, I need to do that. I'm so excited. I love these so much. So thank you so much. If I didn't thank you before, I want to thank you again. Because these are super cute and totally me. Absolutely 100%. Like, I love them. They're adorable. So, I have that. And then I also I purchased finally, because I've needed to do it for a while, but they were out of stock forever of the colors I needed, some Wool of the Annies from Knit Picks. And some of these yarns I think I already have, but they're, yeah, I see it over there. Some of these I already have, but they're for sweaters, and this is for a special project that I'm doing. So this is going to be a wedding blanket. He doesn't watch, and my mom, I don't think she watches anymore either, but if she does, oh well. She gets to see the surprise. So my brother's getting married in July, and I want to make that Knit Picks Memories wedding blanket. And had I gotten to order in February when I wanted to, but they were out of stock of the colors I needed, it probably would have been done by July. But because I just now get to order it, it's not going to be done. So I think instead of like crazy making myself do a colorwork blanket in 2 months, 2 or 3 months, whatever, 2 months, because it's almost May, I think what I'm going to do is knit it throughout the next year and give it to them as their 1-year anniversary gift. So, yeah. Because I don't want to rush myself, and I do want to make it for them. The mail just came. I hear the mailman. We all love mail days. So that is the plan. So I'm sure you guys will be seeing lots of that coming soon. And now I'm just going to start grabbing bags and showing you purchases because I've been crazy. And Jason just left, so now is a safe time to show them. Which, yeah. Anyway, so the first one, I feel like my friend Elizabeth showed me these. I don't know how I started following her, but I remember a conversation with Elizabeth on Saturday at my mom's housewarming party about a indie dyer that she really loved and she wanted to get some yarn from. And I don't think I feel like it wasn't her, this yarn, but now I'm thinking about it, I think it might be. I don't know. I'm crazy. So anyway, I happened to see a post on her Instagram page, which Instagram is the devil. We all know this. And I can't believe I've never seen these. I can't believe I've never seen these on Instagram, and I've never seen anybody knit with them as a podcaster because they are gorgeous. So this is String Theory Colorworks. Guys, like, I am obsessed with self-striping yarn. And these are fantastic. So this first one is the Alloy sock set, so it's her sparkle base. And this is called Stark Effect. And she gives you like a little stitch marker, which I think is adorable. And then this one is her Continuum sock set. So the first one is 84% superwash merino, 16% stellina. So it's got more, a little more stellina. Oh wait, a little less stellina than most of the sock yarns that I see to have. I'm gonna try to, maybe if I bring it over here where there's a little more light over here, less shadows. It is so pretty. And then this one is her Continuum sock set, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Oh my god. These are my jam. I love these so much. So if you guys haven't checked out String Theory Colorworks, highly recommend it. And with all the self-striping yarn that I've acquired recently, I am seriously considering getting a sock knitting machine because I need these knit up. I need them in my life. So there's that. And then, so I purchased a skein of yarn back in like January or December from Luna Pearl Yarns. And it was like red, blue, and white. It reminded me, it was her Christmas colorway, but it reminded me of like a Bomb Pop, which I love Bomb Pops. They're so good. Anyway, she's had these other colorways, and I have been drooling over them for months, and I was being good. Look at that. Look at this. When you like look at this color braid right here that I bought from Kentucky Fiber Festival last year, and when you see these, you're gonna be like, we know Melissa's color palette. Everybody does. Anyway, tangent. Love you. Bye. So, I bought that, I think it was her Polar Express colorway. I might be wrong. But I've been drooling over these for months. I was being good, and I sent them to Jason and Levi. I sent a screenshot of her shop, and I circled 3 colorways. And I was like, I need these 3, like, right now in my life. They were like, no, you don't. You don't need them. And I was like, you're right, I don't. Then I went to Greencastle and I went crazy, and then I started buying yarn online again, and I was like, I need these. I need them. Like, so this is, her colorways remind me a lot of Knit Picks, like the way they have the subtle transitions, like, not subtle colors, like the colors are bright, but like subtle transitions from color to color. So this is her Serenova, Serenova. That's a pretty name. Supernova. And then this is her Planet Bubblegum and Lunar Melon. They're so pretty. I love them. So that is hers. And then, I should talk about this later, but I'm going to talk about it now. Molly Klein Design of Sweet Tea Yarns. She's Molly Klein Design on Etsy. She has the Sweet Tea Yarns line. Saw her at Greencastle, saw this colorway at Greencastle, didn't buy it. She posted it on Instagram. I bought 2 skeins. This is her Sidewalk Fiesta colorway, and I'm in love with it. Like, you guys, there's so many talented, look at the green. It's so pretty. There's so many talented indie dyers out there, and it's so hard to resist. I mean, I dye yarn myself. I could probably dye some of this stuff up, but, like, you guys do such an amazing job. It's so squishy. I shouldn't be buying yarn. I can make my own yarn. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty, and I love it. Thank you, Molly. I love these. They're so squishy. You guys should definitely go check out her shop. And then Yarncraft Faye Creations was doing an anti-bully campaign, and she created this sock set, which I think is called There's Room for Everyone. And I'm thinking this is going to be a giveaway because I wanted to participate. That blue is really pretty. That's really pretty. I wanted to participate and support the cause, but these are not my colors at all. And I mean, they might make a good, like if I left out the mini, they might make a good sock set for Jason or my dad, but I just don't see myself picking these off my shelf. So I probably will use these for a giveaway because I'm sure there's somebody else. Although the more I look at it, the more I like it with this blue right here, the pop of blue. That's really pretty. I think it's the brown that's throwing me off. If that brown was gray, I feel like I would love this. But anyway, so I think I'm going to add this to the giveaway box. It's Biscotti sock, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And it's a gorgeous dye job. The yarn is, like the actual yarn itself is gorgeous. It's super soft and squishy, and I do really like it. Her label's gorgeous. The packaging was amazing. It's just the brown isn't my colors, but like I said, I wanted to support the cause. And I'm sure there's somebody else that will absolutely love to have this. So I'm probably going to host a giveaway for this soon. So stay tuned. Although that blue is really pretty. I think I was looking at the wrong side of the skein because this is what I saw when I opened it up, and I was like, it's okay. But now I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's pretty. I like that. So I don't know, guys. I'm adding it to the giveaway because I don't need more yarn. And then I told you, oh, I got some cables for my Diet Crafts. They have some wire-coated cables because the one complaint that I have about their yarn is I don't like their cables have way too much memory in them, like worse than Addie's. But, so I got some wire-coated cables, and this is the first time I've taken them out to actually look at them, and I actually I like these. I think I'm really going to like them. So I think these are going to make my knitting experience with my Diet Crafts even better than it already is, which is pretty darn good. I love my Diet Crafts. So I got some of those, and I got this last weekend. They re-released the brown fringe bag. I'm not a brown person, but the more I look at this, the more I wanted it. Like they had some when I went on my fringe buying spree, and I didn't get the brown because I was like, brown's not my color. Don't really like it. Nah. And then like when I couldn't have it anymore, I was like, I really should have got that brown. I really like that brown. Brown is not my color, but I really like that brown a lot. So when they re-released it a few weeks later, I was like, this is coming home with me. So got my new fringe bag to add to my collection. Fringe bags, not a problem. Okay, so let me grab another bag. I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick. Okay, so this I ordered in January, I'm pretty sure. It was a dye to order, and it's cat sandwich fibers, her trusty sock, lavender by the bay colorway, which it's not, I don't like it as much in person as I did online, so I might add this to the giveaway pile. I received the yarn from Mercy, and she sent me 4 skeins, and I reached out to the owner of Cat Sandwich Fiber to see if she could dye up 1 or 2 more skeins so that I could make a sweater out of it. And she said no. She didn't say why. She didn't say that's a seasonal colorway, it's a one-of-a-kind colorway, I'm too busy to dye right now, try back later. Like, she didn't say why, she just said no. So if anybody has any of the Egg Hunt colorway, I'm looking for 2 skeins of it. If you'd like to sell it, I'll be more than happy to purchase it from you. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to find another project to do it with. And honestly, I don't want to talk, like, I'm not giving her crap. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about her yarn. Her yarn is gorgeous. I really love her dye style. I think it's very unique. It's enviable, and I think her yarn is fantastic. I was a little off put by the level of customer service that I received when I contacted her. So, personally, it's for me that one-on-one communication with others is almost more important than the product itself sometimes. So I don't know, I just know me, and I won't consciously make the decision to not purchase from her again. If she has something that's gorgeous, I definitely would. That I felt like I had to have. I would so purchase her yarn again because her yarn is beautiful and she's a fantastic artist. However, I know that if I had the choice between her yarn and somebody else's yarn, and that somebody else provided a better level of customer service, then I would choose this person over her. That's not saying anything about her, bad about her. You know, as indie dyers, we get overwhelmed with messages and comments and social media, and I understand that we have personal lives, we have full-time jobs, we have a lot of things going on, so I don't blame her. I just wish there would have been a little more explanation as to why, because now I don't know if I'm supposed to just wait till next year, or if I can ask again in a few months, or if I should just give it up and try to make something else with that yarn. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, please don't take this like in a negative light. I'm just telling you my honest opinion of the interaction that I had with her. So this colorway is really pretty, and but it is a little bit off from what I thought it was going to be. Like, I still really like it, but I just don't know if I'm going to have time to knit it up anytime soon. Like, again, it's one of those skeins where I liked it better in the picture than when I received it, and I feel like it's not one of the skeins that I'm going to gravitate towards to knit up anytime soon. So I think I'm also going to be adding this one to the giveaway pile, which one of you guys will get it. You will love it. And there's nothing wrong with the yarn. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's soft and fluffy. And I'm sorry for all the crinkling, but I just wanted to give you an honest review of my interaction with her. And that's it. So I'm going to throw that over there. And, you know, when I say that, like, I know that I have, and I'm going to talk about this at the end, I know I have messages I haven't responded to from you guys, and but there are some extenuating circumstances that I'm going to give you a heads up on, so we'll talk about that later. So I understand that there's things going on in people's lives, and maybe she was just having an off day. So, the next thing that I purchased, I saw somebody knit up one pair of socks, and then I went, and I was like, I gotta get that, and then I went down the rabbit hole and bought 3. Fab Funky Fibers. I've had her yarn before. I haven't knit with it, but I do like her color technique, and it's similar to Turtle Pearl yarns and Mustache yarns, where they come in matching 50-gram skeins. So this is the big one gradient, which is like a huge self-striping rainbow. Yeah, and this is Never Ending Rainbow. There's the theme here. And then this one is 15 color rainbow. So if you want to see how these knit up, they knit up gorgeously. They all look very similar, but they are all very different once they knit up. And hopefully one day I can knit these into hopefully I can knit these into socks soon, or get a sock knitting machine for Christmas or something so that I can knit faster. And she also sent a mini skein, so I'm going to use this for heels, cuff, and toes in one of those. Okay, and then I purchased this bag. Laura was showing me these bags when we were at Greencastle on her phone. She had pictures, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get one of those. And I was busy in a meeting or on a project or something, and by the time I got into her shop to buy one, they were sold out when she posted them. So I was like, can you please make more? And she's like, yeah. So she made some more, and I purchased one, And look at that. It reminds me, it's so pretty. It reminds me of this Spirograph. And then the inside, look. Oh, it's like beautiful nebulas. They're so pretty. I love it. And she sent me a little mini and a beautiful stitch marker, which, Alicia, you need to start making some more of those, what do they call them? The clay markers. And some tea, because I love tea. Peppermint tea. And of course, all of her bags come with this needle cozy, which is amazing. Because we all need something to keep our stitches on our needles. To avoid lost stitches. So I really love her bags. My favorite part about her bags are these long handles that you get, because everybody needs a big handle, and they're just really well constructed. You really know, it's pretty obvious that she's been sewing for a while. So yeah, I really like it. And I feel like her gussets might have gotten bigger on the bottom. I don't know, Laura, have you started making your gussets bigger? Maybe it's just me. I haven't looked at, because I have that big giant octopus bag, but it's got a sweater in it, my honeycomb sweater that I'm not working on right now, so I haven't really looked at one of her bags in a while. But it looks like the gusset might have gotten bigger on it. Anyway, I really love it. I love this bag so much. It's very beautiful. And you should go check out her shop, because she has lots more like this, and she has 2 of them in our shop right now that I really want. But I have to be good. I have to stop spending money. Not because it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose my house if I spend more money on yarn. It's not like that. I have the money to spend. I just really need to, A, I want to invest more in my shop. B, I want to save up for Rhinebeck. C, we have a family vacation coming up. And D, I would like to be able to retire one day. So, yeah, I need to stop buying bags and yarn. But anyway, there's that. Okay, so I think we're getting into, yeah, this is all Greencastle stuff. So it's out of order. I'm just grabbing and showing. So the first thing that I purchased, which if you'll recall at Wool Gathering, I purchased a rainbow bat from the same company, and which I haven't spun up yet. I purchased this Sassy Bee Fibers bat. It's Polworth Merino and Angelina. It's 4.1 ounces, and it's called Smoke Over Fire, which I think is probably incorrect. And you'll see why. So there's that. So here it is. So it's white and black and hot pink. So I think it's Smoke Over Fire was probably their white and black and red. And maybe they got it mixed up. Or maybe this was supposed to be red and it turned out hot pink. I don't know. It's gorgeous. I love it. I need to spin it up soon. So there's that. I'm rushing, aren't I? Well, we're at an hour and a half, so, and I've got a lot to talk about at the end, personally, so. Okay, so I have this Hello Pearl bat. This is the second one I purchased. Oh my god, you guys. So this one is called Rock and Roll. There's no words. And this one, it doesn't look like it has neps in it, so that is enjoyable. So this is... There might be some neps inside. Okay, it says 4.2 ounces, contains Blueface Leicester, Border Leicester, Corriedale, Faux Cashmere, Icicle, Tencel, Milk Fiber, Silk Thrums, Silk Noil, Angelina, Silk Hankies with extras to add in when spinning. So there must be some extras in the middle. But again, gorgeous bat. I love it. And also from Hello Pearl. And she did say that she has an online shop, but she doesn't really sell a whole lot during festival season. So it might be a while before you guys can get some of this, unless that happens to be at one of your things, one of your fiber festivals that you go to. I purchased this because everybody needs a ginormous hank of chunky yarn. So this is called First View. It's thick sparkle yarn, and it contains merino superwash, 90% merino superwash, 10% silver stellina, 7 ounces, and it's approximately 142 yards. And I'm going to make one of my chunky cable hats with it. So pretty. So pretty. I love it. So I'm going to make a chunky cable hat. Next is really bad at Greencastle. Really bad. So the first thing I'm going to show is this bag I purchased from Molly because she was like, I was actually done purchasing and she goes, Melissa, did you see this? And I was like, no, I didn't. Let me whip out my credit card and purchase some more from you. So, it's this cute little honeybee. It has honeybees and honey pots. And it reminds me of Pooh Bear. I love Pooh Bear, which we were talking. Did you know Pooh Bear is a girl? In the original, like the original classic Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh, was a girl. Didn't know that, but I do now. So, yeah, so that's really cute. I'm going to add it to my project bag collection. It's growing. Okay, so, and then again, this is another later on purchase. I didn't buy this in the first round that I was at our shop because I went back multiple times. But I bought these two for a 2-color shawl, and I think there's a shawl that Laura just finished knitting, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called the Katie shawl, and this is what I want to make. That's what I want to make with this. So it is Old Romance, which is, this is her sparkle sock, 75% superwash, 20% nylon, 5% Selena, and 100 grams per 460 yards. So this is Old Romance. And then this one is Black Balloon. And I think these would pair gorgeously together in that Katie shawl. So, I purchased, so in my first round, I got this. I want to make a Jody shawl with this. They're DK, 3-color DK skeins. Molly just came out with a DK pattern as well for a wrap. And I really like it, and I don't want to say I probably will knit it because I always make plans to knit stuff and then they fall through. I would like to make it, that's what she had these kits for, but I think for these colors, I'm going to knit the Jody shawl. At least I have plans for some of it. I bought a sock blank because, you know me and my sock blanks. I love to buy them and look at them, but I never knit them. I'm horrible. Horrible, horrible. I purchased this skein of Witchy Woman, which Jason wants socks out of. Like, this is the kind of guy Jason is. This is the stuff that he likes. So he really likes these colors. He wants socks out of them. So I don't know. I wasn't thinking socks for him, but maybe I'll do us each a pair of shorties or something out of that. It's a gorgeous colorway. I was like, I don't remember buying anything brown from Molly. I didn't. Okay, so this is Pastel Rainbow Unicorn. And it's pretty obvious why I purchased this one, because these are my colors. And then I purchased Barbie Girl. Again, pretty obvious why I purchased this. And then I purchased some minis from her. I have Sidewalk Fiesta, which is the 2 full skeins that I purchased from her shop. But these ones don't have any gray in them. And then this is the Rainbow Fish and Manic Melon and Witchy Woman. So this is another of that big skein that I just showed. So these are all going into my blanket. I'm actually going to put those, because I have a mini box over here, and put those in there. And also Leaning Man Fiber Arts was there. And my dad, I've knit several pairs of socks for my dad. His favorite pair is the one that I knit out of the cashmere base from Leading Man Fiber Arts. So I purchased this one, which is called Black Walnut, and it is their 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It's just a nice neutral brown. And then I also purchased this, but it's not their cashmere base. It's just their 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's their How You Doing, and I think he would like the socks out of these too. And then I bought a, they call them Showstopper Intermission. And it's just a half skein, and it's Darkest Hour. So, and that is on their Showstopper base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon for heels, cuffs, and toes. So, there we go. Socks for Dad. I think that's all I purchased at Greencastle. I say that's all. I think that's all I purchased from Greencastle, and I say that's all, but that is a lot. And when I got out, well, first of all, Molly gave me a cute little bag. And it had lots of candy and goodies in it, but I already ate the candy. But it had this little Notions pouch. It's Harry Potter, because I love Harry Potter. And she gave me some of her buttons. She has some buttons, so I'm going to put these on my bags as well. And here's her card if you want to check her out, if you want to pause and go check her out on Etsy or Instagram. I don't know if you can read that very well. But, yeah, so thank you, Molly. It's always nice to receive fun little gifts from your fiber friends. And then Laura and Alicia also gave me a goodie bag. So first of all, they hand me this. And it says, the stash struggle is real. Amen. Okay, so they gave me that. And then Laura made Alicia and I matching sock sacks, which I actually really, really like her drawstring bags. I don't think I've purchased drawstring from her before, but I'm really happy to have one because I really like it. And we are Hufflepuffs. Leisha. Why do I keep calling her Leisha and Alora? Anyway, Alicia and I are Hufflepuffs. And so we have the Hufflepuff bag with, oh my god, I love that print. I love that. And then I've been wanting to try one of these too. It's her ball bag, and it's the Marauders map. So I love this. I was going to put my Desert Vista Dye Works socks in this bag, and then I said I was going to put something else in here instead, and I can't remember what I was going to put in here. I'll find something, I'm sure. So, and of course, like I said, her bags come with these needle cozies. All of them do. So go check out her shop. It's Knit for Brains on Instagram and Instagram and Etsy. So she gave me that, and then there were all kinds of little goodies in here. So there were some darning needles, which you can never have too many darning needles. A magnetic bookmark, because they know I love to read, and I use oh yeah, Molly also gave me some soap. It fell out, but some soap. And a notepad. It's super cute. The llamas or the alpacas on them. And then she gave me some oh man, it came unscanned. I'll have to scan it back up, but that's fine. Some scrappies. And because she knows I love scrappies, because I love putting scrappies in my what you call them, blankets. Oh my god, you guys, I love all these. She gave me a ton of leftovers. Love it. And okay, there's two more things, but I gotta put these in here. I think. Okay. Before I drop everything, like I just did. Jeez, what is wrong with me? I just dropped one of the most important things. Where'd it go? It's not in here. I'm gonna have to clean every little thing up until I find it, because it's like one of the most important things that I got that I need to show. Getting really frustrated because I just had it in my hand. Like, I just saw it. It was in my hand. And I dropped it straight down. And it's not there. I found it. Okay. I don't know if that's where you guys were sitting before. Anyway, so here it is. Alicia is making these, why can't I think of the name? Okay, so you know, like Sucre Miniatures, that kind of stuff. She's making those as well. She started making them. How cute is that? This is a cinnamon roll. So it's super cute and I really love it, and she should really make some for the shop because I want more of them. They're adorable. I just love it so much. So, gave me that, and then also we were towards the end, Alicia wanted to go back through one building because she wanted to get something, and then we were talking on our way over, and I was like, I really want to try soak, but I said I don't want to buy it online because I don't know if I like the smells, and I don't want to pay shipping for one of the little trial things, and I said I can't find it anywhere where, like, if I find it in a local yarn store, it's normally unscented. So I want to try the different smells, and we went into the building, and I was getting a little tired. I was hungry. I hadn't eaten that day, and so I was like, I'm gonna go outside and sit in the breeze on the bench. And they came out, and look what they gave me. They had got me they had found a booth that was selling them, so they bought me a few of them. And this is the Celebration one, which is the one I really wanted to try. And this is Yuzu, which I think is like an orange citrusy scent. So I'm really excited to try these. I'm probably going to use them blocking my Neapolitan and my For the Love of a Daughter shawl. So I think that's it as far as acquisitions go. But I do have a few shop things that I wanted to talk about. So I don't think I showed it on the podcast. I think I just put it on Instagram. But I made up some rainbow mini kits for the shop. There's some in there now, and then I'm going to be posting some of these kits this weekend, hopefully. But anyway, so I want to knit the On the Spice Market shawl. So I made up some On the Spice Market kits. There's a bunch of other shawls out there that you can knit these kits up with. It's 120 grams of the minis and then 100 grams of the contrasting or main color yarn. So these are the kits that are going to go up. This is a new gray that I made called Graphite, and it's very, very tonal. So there's a lot of dark gray, there's a lot of light gray, so it's very tonal, and this is on my sparkle base. So this is actually the kit I'm keeping for myself. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I don't know when I'm going to have time to knit it up, but I at least have one of the kits for myself. But anyway, so we have all the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then, well, I don't have indigo, but instead of indigo I have pink, so I have violet and then pink because I had to have pink. So this is Melissa's version of the rainbow. Anyway, they're very bright, poppy, and I love them, and I can't wait to knit something out of them, and I will have some of those up in the shop soon, so keep an eye out. If you are subscribed to the April Yarn of the Month Club, you do not want spoilers, please fast forward about 5 minutes because I'm going to be showing spoilers. So you've had fair warning, so here it comes. So my theme for April's Yarn of the Month is, and close your ears if you don't want spoilers, but is Alice in Wonderland. And I wanted to do this for April because May is coming soon. It's Mother's Day. And one of my mom's favorite classics is Alice in Wonderland. And so I figured I would do something, you know, that, because I give her my Yarn of the Month every month. So I figured maybe that would be something cool to give her for Mother's Day. So the first thing you got is an Alice charm. And she has different dresses on. So I kept the pink version of it. She has blue and black as well. And I think there's a lilac-y version as well. And then the second thing you got is a cookie. So some of you got the honeybee cookies, or I guess this is a bumblebee, I don't know. But some of you got the bee cookies. Most of you got the flowers because the way that you order them, there was only like 6 bees and the rest were flowers. So I kept one of the bees for myself, but these are delicious. We had some left over and Jason and I have been eating them all week. But yeah, so I included a cookie. I bubble wrapped them in the hopes that they wouldn't get smushed in the mail. So if yours came, I hope it didn't come crumbled. But if it did, please let me know because I'm thinking about adding more edible items in the future like this. and I need to find a better way to package them if I'm going to do that, if they're arriving crumbled and broken. So please let me know if the bubble wrap worked. And then the yarn, I tried something a little bit different, and I love how it turned out, and I really like this colorway. It's one of Jason's favorites, so if that says anything, but here it is. The yarn is called Curiouser and Curiouser. The inspiration is Alice in Wonderland. And yeah, this is my sparkle base, of course. So it's got blues, a little tiny bit of green, yellow, and some pink. It turned out a little more red, but it's because it was more concentrated, but some pinky reds in here. So the idea was that the blue was for her dress, the yellow is for her hair, the green was for like all the shrubs and greenery that is in Alice in Wonderland, and then the pinky reddish color is for the Cheshire Cat. So that was the idea, but the inspiration behind it, I really like how it turned out, and I think it will make a gorgeous pair of socks, and I'm really interested to see how this knits up. I did keep one for myself, so I need to knit it up and see how it goes. But anyway, so that is the Beads Are Still Falling. That's the April Yarn of the Month Club colorway. I hope that you guys liked it. May's is not up yet. I need to get it up. I have just been crazy busy. And yeah, so this is where we get into some personal talk. I'm not gonna lie, it's a difficult subject for me. So if you are struggling with if you're struggling emotionally, or you don't like to hear about sad things, then I suggest that you turn off the podcast now. I just wanted to put that warning out there, because I know that if somebody was talking about the subject that I'm going to talk about when they're going through a hard time, when I was going through a hard time, it would be kind of like a trigger for me, and I don't know that I would want to watch it. So I just want to put that out there as a sort of trigger warning for anybody that's going to continue to watch it. I don't know if you can hear all those plastic and bubbles falling. And so, like, I don't know what's going on right now. So anyway, it is going to get a little bit emotional, so I just want to give you that warning now. And if you are leaving, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'm so glad to be back with you guys, and I will see you soon in a new one, sooner rather than later. Okay, so it's kind of hard to transition, because if you follow me on Instagram, you will already know about what's going on. But I know some of you don't have social media accounts and have no clue why I haven't been podcasting. But I talked in my last podcast about my friend Jessica, who was diagnosed with esophageal/stomach cancer. They found in February she went in for a checkup from an illness she had. They did a scope, and they found a small tumor in between her that's just getting worse and worse. They found a small tumor in between her esophagus, like on the edge of her stomach and esophagus where they meet up. And she was diagnosed with stage 1 stomach cancer / esophageal cancer. From what I understand, they're both kind of interrelated, because a lot of times if you have stomach, you have esophageal. If you have esophageal, you have stomach. So anyway, so she was diagnosed. She told me in February. She told me in late February. And she went into, she said that, you know, they found it pretty early, so she's going to go in and have surgery to have part of her stomach and esophagus removed, and that she would, you know, be fine. She would have a long recovery. She would be out of work for quite a while. But that was the basics of it. They found it super early. She was going to be okay. I had knit a pair of socks for her, and we met up for lunch. Her surgery was on a Tuesday, and now the dates are becoming blurry to me because it's been about a month. But her surgery was scheduled for a Tuesday. It was like the 14th, or maybe it was the week before that. I'm not sure. Scheduled for a Tuesday. We went to lunch the Thursday before. I gave her the socks. We had a great conversation. And, you know, we were just kind of catching up and talking before she went into surgery. So she went in, the day of, you know, my friends and I were texting, and we were concerned because it was supposed to be an 8-hour surgery, and 8 hours passed and she was still in surgery. So her 8-hour surgery turned into 12 hours. And there, obviously, I in particular, I was good friends with her, but there's some girls in my group that were best friends with her, and they were getting the updates on what was going on, and communicating that to the rest of us. So there became a point when I wanted to go see her that weekend. I was gonna go see her with some friends, go visit, just give her my love and support, and just, you know, see if she was up for chatting, see if her family needed anything. And I texted my friend, and she said that she's having a hard recovery and that she's not up for visitors. So I didn't go. Then I wasn't really made aware. I didn't really understand what that meant by a hard recovery. I just thought, you know, she's recovering from surgery and she's not feeling her best, because Jess was always very put together. She's a gorgeous woman, and she would have her hair done and her makeup done, and she was just so pretty, and she was just always the put together one. And so I'm sure that being, you know, out of surgery and you kind of feel kind of crummy, so I figured that was just the case. I got some information that she was admitted to the Heart and Vascular ICU, and because as a result of her surgery, she had some mucus in her lungs, and they were trying to work that out. So apparently the Monday after her surgery, so it was about a week later, they got her up to walk, and she said that she felt dizzy, and she collapsed, and they revived her, but it took them a while to revive her. She had went into a cardiac arrest, and because of that, she suffered severe brain damage. Only her, basically, she was no longer Jessica. She was on a ventilator for about a week. They took her off the ventilator, and she breathed on her own for a little while and then passed away. So that is what I've been dealing with, and Jess and I haven't hung out as much these past couple years as we used to, and I have a little bit of guilt about that, but at the same time I know that she was a good friend to a lot of people, and she had a lot of friends and family that surrounded her with all the love and support that she needed in the hard time that she was going through. And I know that she is one of those people who absolutely lived life to the fullest. She took every opportunity that was given to her. She loved the Reds. She loved Ohio State football. She loved the Bengals, which I'm not sure why, but I hope there's no Bengals fans watching. But she was a big sports fan. She was at all the games, not all the games, but she was always watching the games, and if she wasn't watching them on TV, she was there. She has a daughter, a 13-year-old daughter, so this is pretty devastating for her family, her husband and her daughter, and it's very sudden. She went in for, not a routine surgery, but she went in for something that she should have survived. And so as a result, there were a lot of medical expenses and funeral expenses that were unexpected. And so I wanted to do, not to make this about me, but you guys know that I have problems with anxiety and depression. And one of my kind of anxious quirks is that I am terrified of dying, and people have tried to justify it and reason with me as why I shouldn't be, and I know that I shouldn't dwell on it. It's a very dark, negative place to go, but I do go there. And so when something like this happens, and not that this has happened to me before, I've never lost a close friend like this in this way, But like when my dog passed or when my grandpa passed, I have these like morbid thoughts about passing, and it's very scary, especially because you guys know I have some health problems, and so I just dwell on that, and it takes me to a really dark place, and I was trying to prevent that from happening. So I wanted to stay busy, and I wanted to help, and I couldn't think of a way to help. And then one day it just kind of dawned on me that I wanted to do a fundraiser. And so I put up a listing in my shop for a skein of it was inspired by esophageal cancer awareness and Jessica, because her esophageal stomach cancer colors are like a light periwinkle lilac. I'm not coming up with the right name for purple. It was light purple. And then Jessica's favorite color was purple as well. So I wanted to try to raise money as much as I could to contribute. Jason and I contributed some from us personally, but I wanted to try to do more than what we could afford from our budget. And this felt like the right thing to do. So what I did is I put up a listing, and I donated 100% of the profits, meaning that I took out money for my supplies, and then everything else went to her husband and daughter to help cover some of the expenses. And I was expecting to sell maybe 30, 40, 50 yarn skeins. And before I knew it, you guys were sharing my posts, you guys were purchasing, and showing so much love and support, and I was overwhelmed in a good way. I always say I'm overwhelmed, but that's the best word for it, because I'm kind of like in shock because I never expected that. So as a result, I still don't have the final counts. I'm trying to wait until I ship out the last orders, but which should go out next week. But at last count, I've already sent him over $2,200. So you guys helped me raise that, and I am so appreciative. Her husband was speechless. I know Jess has talked to him about my knitting and my business, because she was very interested in that. And in fact, I was going to teach her how to knit while she was on leave. So I know that she's talked to him about it, and I think he kind of thought it was a little weird. And when I told him what I was doing, he was very grateful, but I don't think he understood the level that it would go to. So he was speechless, and he was very appreciative, and I just want to thank you guys, because you made that happen. I was able to bring a little bit of financial comfort to him in a time when he needed it the most, when that's the last thing that he should really be thinking about. So I just want to put that out there as a thank you to you guys, and tell you you are amazing, and I am so proud to be a part of this community. And I never would have been able to donate that much without you guys. And so to anybody that's contributed, and even if you couldn't contribute financially and purchase a skein, if you send a message or said a prayer or anything like that, I just want to send my love and thanks out to you, because that all definitely helps in a time like this. So yeah, so that is why I haven't been podcasting. It's been hard for me to get into the mindset emotionally. I was in a dark place, and I think I'm doing okay. And I just, at this point, I need to be there for people who are very close to her, and give them support. And I also need to keep my mind busy. So I was able to dye up all the yarn. And I forgot one of the most important things. So I had two wonderful makers reach out to me. One is Use Your Yarn, and she has created the stand-up socks. And I talked about this quite a while back in one of my old podcasts, because she had donated a few to give away, and I had donated a few copies. She actually donated a coupon code for that pattern to everybody that purchased a skein of yarn, which is, I mean, I'm just, it's speechless. That's the right word, because you have no words to say. And then also Stitching Plaza, Georgianne from Stitching Plaza has also generously offer to sew up a Notions pod for everybody that made a purchase, which is a huge undertaking. It's we as creators know how long it takes to make something, so we know that making one pod may only take 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long it takes, but it may take 15-20 minutes. Making over 100, I mean, to donate that amount of time to a cause for somebody that you didn't even know is generosity beyond imagine. It's a whole nother level. And so I just wanted to thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Georgianne. I so appreciate your support in this. And I have all the coats. I have all the yarn. Georgianne is sending the rest of the pods next week. So as soon as I receive those, I will be packaging. 50 of the orders have already gone out. But as soon as I receive the rest, I will be packaging and sending them out in batches. Hopefully, I'm hoping to do about 50 a day. So once I receive them, it'll take me about 3 or 4 days to get everything out in the mail. So thank you all for your patience. I know it's been about a month since some of you ordered your yarn, so I really do appreciate your patience in that. But yeah, so I pretty much have for about 3 weeks, I didn't do anything except for dye yarn. When I wasn't dyeing yarn, I was working. When I wasn't working, I was sleeping. I did a lot of sleeping. So I didn't really knit. I didn't spin. And it wasn't until I went to Greencastle that I really kind of perked up and started knitting and spinning again. So again, another thank you goes out to the wonderful ladies from Knit for Brains and Molly Klein from Molly Klein Designs podcast. Thank you for that wonderful day. It was much needed in a really bad time. So, thanks for listening to me talk, listening to me cry. We had some amazing conversations, and I cannot wait to meet up with you guys again. It was so much fun, and we're already planning another meetup. I don't think they've announced it, so I'm not going to announce it. But I will talk about some of the things that I plan on going to. So, the Kentucky Fiber Fest is the next one on my list. I don't know if I'm going. I have a couple girls from my knit night that are going to go. If they go, I might ride down with them, but I'm not really planning to purchase anything. A lot of the vendors that are at Kentucky Fiber Fest were either at Greencastle or they're going to be at Wool Gathering. So if I see something that I absolutely have to have, I might purchase, but I don't plan on taking any cash with me, and I mostly spend cash at fiber festivals, so we'll see how that goes. But if they're going to drive down, I might just tag along just as a day girls trip and spend some time knitting, because it was fun last year. I love hanging out with that group of girls. We went down into, is it Lexington? I think it's Lexington. It might be Louisville, but I'm pretty sure it's Lexington. We went down into the town and we ate dinner, and we went to another yarn shop that was down the street from where we ate. So it was just a wonderful day. And so I am excited about that if I do decide to go to that. But I won't be driving. I think Jack, had reached out to me and said that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the Fiber Festival, but they had a new local yarn shop that I should stop at. And if I was driving, I totally would. I would love to meet up with you and visit your LYS, but since I'm going to be going with a friend, I probably won't make it to that. But so there's that. There's Simply Sock Yarn anniversary sale, which again was a blast. I'm going, and I think Levi's going to that as well, so that'll be fun. And some other people might show up. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm pretty sure it's going to be set in stone, but I'm going to let them make the announcement first. But anyway, so there's going to be quite a few of us there if you want to come check us out and have lunch with us. I think I'm probably going to try to make reservations. There's a barbecue place down the street from Simply Sock Yarn Company that we ate at last time, and it was really good. They have a large variety of food. They have alcoholic beverages, so you just kind of relax and knit and chill and chat, and then you go back and shop some more. And then it's a small little town. They have some antique stores and things like that. And we drove a little bit outside of Fort Wayne. I don't remember what the major city was, but there's a place called Yummy Bunny Ice Cream, and it was fabulous. They take like these, they call them rolls, but they're basically like donuts, and they cut them in half, and they put 2 scoops of ice cream, and you eat it. It was fantastic, and I really am looking forward to that. So those are my plans for May. I don't have anything planned for June or July. July is July is my brother's wedding. And then August, I'm going on a family vacation with my husband, my oldest brother-in-law, and my youngest brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Well, it's my oldest brother-in-law's wife. We are all going to Las Vegas. I've never been to Las Vegas. I'm really excited. So that is booked and paid for, and I'm excited to go. I'm excited to go on a family vacation because I haven't been on one in about 3 or 4 years. So very excited. I don't want to bring this up, but I'm gonna bring it. Like, if you live in, because I know some of my fellow knit group people watch my podcast. If you have a dog and you go out of town, do you have any recommendations for the Dayton, Cincinnati area for boarding? I really don't want to board Izzy, and so I would like it to be more of a home environment rather than a kennel environment. Not that it has to be one person in particular, but I know that some kennels do it where they have like mini living rooms or mini, like, it's not basically a cement slab with fencing. It's like carpeted, or they have furniture they can lay on, and they take them out a couple times a day, not just the potty, but to play with. If you have any of those recommendations, we're flying out of Cincinnati, so it would be nice if we could drop her off on the way. Jessica used to house sit for me every time I went on vacation. She used to watch because at the time we had 2 dogs and 3 cats, and so it was very difficult for us to not only find somebody to take care of them, but it would be even more expensive to board them. So, since she's passed, that's obviously not an option. And she's really one of the only people that I would trust to do it. There are a few other people, but I know that they are super busy and they have their own lives, so I don't want to, like, impose on them. So I am looking for a kennel, but I don't like calling it a kennel. A place where I can take Izzy while we're gone. We're going to be gone for 5 days, so if you are local or Cincinnati area, let me know. And in October is Rhinebeck. So September is wool gathering. And August, is it August? Yeah, August is also Stitches Midwest. I had planned to go to Stitches before we booked Las Vegas. I don't know that I'm going to be going to Stitches now because of Las Vegas, because originally Jason and I were just going to, from May to August, from June to August, we were going to go a new place every month, where we were going to take 2 days off work and have a long weekend and we're going to go to Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York City. So that originally was our plan, and now we're going to Las Vegas instead. So, Chicago I was going to go to in August so that I could also go to Stitches, while we were there. And now I'm not going to Chicago, so I don't know if I'm still going to Stitches or not. I will let you know closer to the time. But those are my main plans. So Kentucky Fiber Festival, Simply Sock Yarn, maybe Stitches, wool gathering for sure because it's super local, and Rhinebeck. So those are my festival plans. So if you guys are going to be at any of those, let me know. I'm going to try to have buttons made up, but I got them priced, and it's pretty pricey. Originally I was getting enamel pins estimated, and if I ever do enamel pins, it'll have to be later on because it was a pretty expensive ordeal. And I don't know that anybody would buy enamel pins because the only way that I would be able to afford to have them created is if I was able to sell them in my shop. So, and they would have to sell for probably $8 or $9 each for me to be able to have them made and not take a huge loss in my shop bank account. So if you are interested and you would purchase an enamel pin for me, it would be my logo. Let me know, because if enough people are interested and would actually purchase, maybe I'll put up pre-orders and that's how I will have them made. If not, then I'm probably going to do buttons, and if I do buttons, I know that I won't have them in time for Kentucky or Simply Sock Yarn, but I will definitely have them in time for the later month giveaways, fiber festivals. So that's a lot of chat. I need to finish my socks and make dinner because it's getting pretty late, and edit the podcast. Yeah, so if you guys, one last thing, if you're waiting on a giveaway package from me, I know that I have not sent it out yet. I am so sorry. I will get those out as soon as possible. I kind of took a break from all the administrative stuff and I'm catching up. So I promise I didn't forget about you and you will get the package, and I am so sorry that it's late, but it will come. If you sent me a message on Etsy or Ravelry or Instagram and I haven't responded, I will. I respond to everything. I just am trying to catch up with everything. So, and I can only do so much a day because after I do meetings and emails all day at work. So when I come home, I can only do so many through social media before I feel like my head's gonna explode. And it's not because of you guys. I love talking to you guys. It's just because just putting in the effort to form sentences at that point is like mind numbing. So I will get to you guys, I promise. So hey guys, it's me from the future. After podcasting, I realized there's some information that I left out that I wanted to include, and I'm losing my light. So while I'm still editing the video, I wanted to go ahead and record something else to add. I'm working on my Desert Vista Dye Works socks, just to let you know while editing. I finished the toe on one, and I'm working on the cuff of the other. But I wanted to tell you that, first of all, I forgot to mention places you can find me. And you can find me on all the things. So Instagram, I'm honey_bee_knits. Ravelry, I'm Melissa1308, and I also have a Honeybee Knits podcast group in Ravelry where we have knit-alongs and just general chatter. You can ask questions. I am lagging behind, but the group members are great about responding if you have a question on a pattern or just getting started with knitting in general, so go check that out. And then I am also on Etsy as honeybeeknitsco.etsy.com, where you can find all my products, including the mini skein sets that I showed or am going to show, depending on where this video goes. As well as Yarn in the Month Club signups for May, which should be in the shop probably Saturday or Sunday. Today's Friday, so that's coming. Also, I did not say anything about giveaways. I am behind on pulling winners for giveaways, one of which is our March Madness cowl, which I think we're kind of extending through the end of April because we didn't have time to Levi and I from WTF Knitting are hosting it, and we didn't have time to podcast this month. And so we will be pulling winners next time we podcast for that. And I know that I owe at least 1, if not 2 months of sock knitting winners, and I am going to pull those either this week and post a little mini giveaway video, or I'll just put it in my next podcast, which is hopefully next week or the week after. So I am sorry, those winners are coming. I promise not to get behind like this again. Well, I can't promise that, but I promise to at least get caught up on it and try to stay caught up. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, oh, and giveaways, sorry. Whoop. Also, I'm going to be pulling a giveaway winner for the first for any posts that were put in the Whip It Thursday cow knit along thread for January through March. I'm going to be pulling one of those winners, or actually a few winners for that as well. Jack Beck, he is a knitting pattern designer. He's Forget About It on Ravelry and Instagram, and he has designed a new shawl pattern that is absolutely gorgeous. He's gifted me a copy. I can't wait to find time to knit it. I'm excited to find yarn for it, but he's also generously donated 3 of those patterns to the podcast as giveaways. So I'm sure a few of you will be pulled in those giveaways, or I'm sure. So a part of my Whip It Thursday cow giveaway is going to be a few copies of that pattern. Okay, so, and also, I recorded this entire episode and forgot to mention that it's my podiversary month. So I know I mentioned this last month, but because of everything that happened in April, the end of March and beginning of April, I never got around to doing anything to celebrate. So as soon as I get caught up on my current giveaways, my current orders, everything that needs all the messages, I'm hoping to get caught up on that within the next week or two. So I'm going to be extending my podiversary celebration out, and we'll be celebrating pretty much the entire month of May, and maybe at the end of May I will be drawing winners both in, I'll have a thread in the Ravelry group as well as post on Instagram that you can share, and I'm going to be giving away a few of my Yarn of the Month Club subscriptions. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. I promise everything is coming. Like I said, I got a little bit behind on administrative things, but I'm trying to get caught up the best I can. And as soon as I do, we'll start putting new things out there for you guys. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you had fun, and I will send you back to past Melissa. Bye. That's really all I have this time. I think it's a 2-hour podcast, and I'm sorry, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you soon, sooner rather than later. I would like to get back to a weekly podcasting schedule, but I'm not going to promise anything. I'm at least going to shoot for 2 weeks. So there's that. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.